Hello everyone, this is Dr. Payal Chobe. Now this particular video is dedicated to all medical students who are having their gynec posting or who are wishing to learn gynec examination. Now in this video I am going to cover the basic gynec examination, how to be conducted, what all are the points which are to be covered during an examination of a gynec patient. First of all, history taking. Now history taking is very important in a gynec examination schedule. In history taking, what are the points that are to be covered? Number one, what is the menstrual history? That is, ideally one should start with the menarche history. At what age did the lady or the female started to get her menses? Because this would give us an idea about the menstrual pattern of that particular female. Also, the regularity, if the menses are regular or not. Second, the obstetric history, that is if the patient is married, unmarried, number one. Second, if she is married, then is she desirous of a pregnancy or is she planning to start her family? If not, then what are the contraceptive methods that she is using? By this we come to know as to what contraceptive is being used by the patient. Then coming on to the pregnancy aspect. Gravida, G. Gravida stands for number of pregnancies the patient. So gravida is number of times the lady has conceived or has become pregnant. Para is number of live children she has. L is number of live children she has. Then A stands for number of miscarriages or abortions if she has. Also, there has to be a special mention about some abnormal pregnancies as ectopic pregnancies. So this has to be mentioned separately. Now I give you an example. A lady comes to you. She is pregnant for the first time. She is carrying the pregnancy. So what will be the G, P, A, L status of this patient? It will be G1, P0, A0, L0. That is, she is pregnant for the first time. She has not delivered the baby, so she is para 0, live 0 and no abortion, that is A0. Now second example. A patient comes to you who's 5th time pregnant. She has 2 living children. She has 1 abortion and she has 1 ectopic pregnancy for which she underwent exploratory laparotomy. So what will be the history in the form of GPAL? So she will be G5, that is she is pregnant for the 5th time. P2, that is 2 live children. L2, A1, abortion, and there has to be a special mention of 1 exploratory laparotomy for ectopic pregnancy. So on so forth, one calculates the obstetric history of the patient. Also, it is very important in a gynec patient, non-obstetric patient, to know about the status of the vaginal health in the form of history. So one has to ask whether the patient has white discharge, if yes or no. As I have covered in my previous videos about white discharge, we know that there are physiological white discharge, that is those are normal, those are before menses or just after the menses and during pregnancy. But again we know for a fact that this has a very thin line of differentiation between a physiological and a pathological white discharge. That is, if the white discharge is continuous in nature, staining the undergarments, has backache and has foul smelling, so this comes into the pathological category. So one has to know in the history itself if the lady has white discharge, and one can from the history itself come to know whether it is physiological or pathological. Second, it is very important to know the treatment history as to what the lady has done about the white discharge, whether she has sought a gynec consultation earlier or not. Then coming on to the clinical examination. Now these are certain basic equipments or instruments which are used for a normal gynec examination. Gynec examination basically has per speculum examination where we use these instruments, and a per vaginal instruments where the hand, the fingers are used. Now coming on to instruments one by one. Now this is called as a sim speculum. We all can see. This normally comes as stainless steel instrument. Nowadays you get disposable plastic instruments also. Now if you can see this instrument, this has a groove inside. That is, it has a curvature inside. It's not straight, it has a curvature, and it has got two blades. These blades are blunt. These blades basically they facilitate, the groove facilitates if at all there is any secretion, it comes from the groove and it falls down. Now this is basically used to retract the posterior vaginal wall, and this is called as the anterior vaginal wall retractor. As we can see, this has got two spoon-like structures, but they have grooves. It is hollow and they are serrated. So this basically will retract the anterior vaginal wall. Now this basically, these instruments basically are used to visualize the cervix. So how to use it? Arbitrarily, if at all we are examining the patient, first this instrument has to be introduced. So the labial folds have to be separated with the hand, with the two fingers, and then this goes inside. You have to create a little bit of depression while retracting the posterior vaginal wall, and this slides on this instrument and retracts the posterior vaginal wall so that the cervix is seen. Okay, now then we have a very beautiful instrument which is called as a cuspospeculum. Here I have a plastic equipment. This is basically disposable. This also comes in a stainless steel material, and it has got a screw where you can lock it. If at all you don't want to have an assistant while during an examination, so this can be, so this serves as SIMS and this serves as anterior vaginal wall retractor. Then very frequently in the OPD procedures, one has to either put in a multi-load or a copper T, or remove a copper T, wherein we have to stabilize the upper lip of the cervix. So this can be done either with this equipment. This is called as a valcellum. These are the three teeth. It has got three teeth over here, so that the cervix is held, and then since it has got a curvature, you just have to hold it like this so the cervix comes upwards. Very commonly again used is, and a very common equipment in all the surgical procedures, be it any procedure, any branch procedure, be it ortho, surgical or gynec or a urology, any procedure, this is the equipment where we have to start our surgeries with. So this is a Shri Ganeshaya equipment, right? So this basically is called as a sponge holding forceps. This has got serrations. So what you have to do is you have to put a swab or a gauze, dip it into the betadine. It has got a lock, and you can clean the part. You can make it sterile. So these are the very common equipments we use in a gynec setup. So this is ideally to be used in the OPD procedure. Then how to sterile them? Ideally these are steriled in a sterilizer, or they can be autoclaved. And if there are frequent gynec examination, one has to place Savlon or some sterilizing agent with normal saline, and you can dip the equipments there, but then this water has to be changed very frequently. Also, not to forget to mention about, while doing a gynec examination or a clinical examination in a gynec patient, one has to have a good dialogue with the patient. One has to tell the patient as to what you're going to do. Just do not go and touch the private parts of the patient without the knowledge of the patient, number one. Take the patient into your confidence, and while asking the patient to undress from the lower side so that the vaginal examination can be done, one has to cover the patient properly. So compassion, proper history taking, and proper meticulous way of examination will give you diagnosis in a better way. Thank you.